everybody. So I decided to go ahead and get my tutorial done. It's a day late, but yesterday we had some sickness come into the house and my daughter was on between the couch and the bathroom all day. She had a stomach bug, so I was not able to do any work yesterday, like none. So I figure better late than never. So I've already prepared my epoxy. Today I'm going to be going over a glitter ombre using the epoxy method. So I already have my tumbler prepped on the turner. I have the two glitters I'm using. Today I'm going to be using the Sunset Fine Mix from Yaya's Glitter. And I'm going to be using Neon Orange from Hobby Lobby. So like I said, I already have my epoxy done. I do a total of 10 milliliters for my base, and I don't usually use it all. It's 5 milliliters of each part for my base to put the glitter on top of. But I'm gonna go ahead and point y'all down, that way you can see the tumbler. Don't mind the mess in the background, we're in my garage. So I'm just going to apply a very light coat of epoxy to the entire tumbler. And I already have my paper underneath. I'm going to move that piece, because I don't want that piece up under there, but I have one piece under there already. And I use the paper, it's just regular printer paper. I use it to catch my glitter. And that way I can put my glitter back in. And then how I do my ombre, I use the paper as well for my ombre. So I'll show you that technique once we get to that part. But it's a very light layer of epoxy over the spray painted base, and I'm getting epoxy onto the paper underneath. That's why I moved that piece, because I didn't want epoxy on the paper my glitter is going onto. This way, if I drop it on this piece of paper, I can just move this piece of paper there, and I won't have to worry about my paper getting stuck to my catch pan underneath it. So luckily my daughter is feeling a lot better today. That's why I'm able to be in the garage working. We get these random stomach bugs with her. Her doctor says it has to do with her asthma and her sinuses. So basically, whenever her sinuses start draining back, it aggravates her belly. And stomach bug like symptoms. Everything she eats and drinks messes with her belly, so we have to be very careful about what she eats and drinks for the day. As of dinner last night, she was very famished, very hungry. She ate 2 bowls of dinner, so I knew then that she was good. And this morning she woke up as her spunky, gassy self. So, all right, I have it all done. I go ahead and epoxy the bottom. I'm not going to put glitter on the bottom, but I like to have that bottom part smooth. So I'll just go ahead and put a little bit on the bottom. And I do have a very tiny bit of epoxy left. Not enough to do anything with, but I like to have a little bit left over just in case, because I'm going to let this spin for a few minutes and just make sure it's completely covering. And if it's like, just say it pulls back from the top or from the bottom, I have a little bit extra to work with to add it to those spots. So I'm just going to make sure it's completely smooth. Go ahead and remove my glove. And I'm going to be putting the fine mix, because it does have some chunky in it. I don't know if you can see that. It has some chunky in it. I'm going to be putting that on the bottom, and the neon orange is a fine glitter. So I'm going to be putting that on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This looks like it's staying pretty well. Move that piece of paper out of there and put a new piece of paper down. I'm going to start at the top. So all I'm going to do now is, now that I see that the epoxy is not separating anywhere, I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle. And I'm just going to keep sprinkling until all of the white parts are covered that I want covered. And this is kind of a translucent glitter. So the white base probably should have been an orange base, but I didn't have any orange spray paint. So it'll work. It gives me the true color of the orange. So right now, I just emptied my bottle out, but all of my glitter is on the paper underneath it. So once it makes a few turns, and there's a large piece right there that I don't want. There we go. Once I see that it's not dropping glitter anymore, or even if it is, I'm going to go ahead and take my paper, fold it up, and put my glitter right back into the bottle. And you're going to notice it doesn't even look like I barely made a dent in what I had left. So my cup is not being very nice right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go over it again, just to make sure I got all of the parts covered that I wanted. I don't know why my cup is acting like it's falling off on my ball. Always keep my glove right there just in case. This turner doesn't like me. Luckily with the epoxy method, I usually only have to let it spin for maybe 45 minutes before I can consider it not move, you know, it won't move anymore. So now that I see everything is covered that I want, I'm going to go ahead and put my orange glitter back in. And I'm going to use that same piece of paper for the bottom. So I'm just going to move it to the bottom half. And I'm going to take my other mix and I'm going to apply it. Using the same exact concept. And I'm going to bring it up towards the fine mix. Or not the fine mix, but the neon orange, the fine glitter. And right now you can see there's a harsh line where the two glitters are meeting, but I'm going to soften that line with the paper. So I'm gonna let this turn, let all that loose glitter get off of there. And this is a cup for a very dear friend of mine. These are kind of her branding colors. So I wanted to make her something. She's been in a rough patch. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my glitter up. Almost spilled it all over my lap. And I'm mixing it. Hold on. So, I mean, it's still almost completely full. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a very tiny bit in the paper, and I'm going to do the same thing with the fine. And I'm going to take a popsicle stick and kind of just mix them together. And this is how I do it. May not work for everybody, but this is what I found works best for me when I'm ombreing. Is now I'm going to take the paper and I'm just going to soften that line a little bit. I'm trying to bring those bigger flakes up into the top and the neon orange flakes into the bottom. And with these two colors, you can't really see the ombre because they're so close, but I will show you the cup I did on the other end where I used this technique to ombre those two colors. And that's pretty much how I ombre using the Epoxy method. But this one was the exact same way, using the paper underneath it to ombre the two colors together. I just mixed the two colors on the paper and then applied it to the middle to take away that harsh line. And every now and again, I'll go through and I'll take a pinch of the bottom color and I'll bring it. Oh, if my bottom color is a chunky, I want to bring it more up into the top color. So I'll actually put some down here. So, but right now my glitter's not really moving. My epoxy is not really moving because the glitter has soaked it up. I don't see any bare spots that I need to take, grab. So I'm just going to let it spin for a little while, let the epoxy harden a bit. And then I'm going to seal it and put at least 2 more layers of epoxy on top of this, and that will allow me to decal it or even peekaboo it, which I think I might peekaboo this one. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll see how I'm feeling whenever I seal it and put epoxy over it and see how it looks. This one might just be an ombre instead of a peekaboo, but that's pretty much my process for doing the ombre method using the epoxy. So, or the epoxy method, a glitter ombre using the epoxy method. I cannot talk today, you would think. So I hope that was informative. If y'all have any questions, drop them down below. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. Find my page, Enchanting Creations Boutique. I'm always happy to answer any questions anyone may have. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. I will talk to you guys later.